Welcome to Florida Newsmakers. I'm Tremel Gomes with our very special guest, Lauren Book, sexual abuse survivor and founder of Lauren's Kids. Welcome to the program. For those who don't know, would you share with us what your organization is all about?
Sure. I founded Lauren's Kids in 2007, and we work to prevent sexual abuse and heal survivors of sexual abuse through education and awareness.
Lawmakers recently passed a package of bills cracking down on sexual predators. You were tracking this every step of the way. What do you think is the strongest provision in those bills?
I think that this year we have passed one of the most comprehensive pieces, really 4 pieces of legislation that we have ever worked on and helped usher through the process. We have walked the state now 5 times, and every year we work on a different piece of legislation, and I think this year it is one of the most tough on offenders, really serious when it comes to protecting the children and families of Florida. And I'm really proud to have helped draft some of these pieces of legislation and work with our legislators to pass them. I think that this year, really all of the bills will go a long way to protect children and families, but I think it's really important that families remember that it's always about education and awareness and prevention. We can't stop those bad guys from every offense. We can keep them away from our kids as long as we can, but it's also important to focus on that prevention and education piece as well.
One of the statistics that you mentioned is that 95% of sexual abuse is preventable through education. Could you explain how this is achieved?
Absolutely. I think the most important thing that we think about is that 1 in 3 girls and 1 in 5 boys will be sexually abused before the age of 18. Children or individuals, with a developmental delay or disability, 90% of that population will be sexually abused at some point in time in their life. 49% of those individuals will be abused 10 or more times, and 1 to 3% of those cases will ever be brought to light. And so it's important to think about, if we empower our children and give them a voice, teach them how to access help, that if you do disclose that something is going on and somebody doesn't hear what you have to say, that you keep on telling until you get the 2 H's. Helped and heard, that they use the tools that we give them, their trusted triangle, their safety stop sign, that they're always seeking answers if they feel confused or icky. They need to identify feelings that make them feel unsafe, and I don't think that we really educate our children in those ways. And I think that kids have a misconception out there that the stranger, and we've done this now throughout the state, throughout the country, and internationally, when you ask them, what does a stranger look like? They will always draw a tall man with messy clothes, messy hair, with a gun, a knife, or a sword, or a leash. And where is my puppy? I'm going to hurt or kill you. And we know that 90% of the time, children are abused by someone they know, love, and trust.
You're one of the few that gained access to the Civil Commitment Center in Arcadia, which houses some of the state's most dangerous sexual predators. What have you learned from your experience there?
Well, it was a very interesting opportunity to delve into a world that not a lot of people get to see, and got to spend some time with the clinicians there who run the programs and ask them, can these individuals be cured? And the answer is no. What they can do is work on their triggers. What they can do is help them identify some of those feelings that make them act out. And I was able to speak to a resident at the facility and talk with them about what their triggers are. What are their likelihood to are they likely to reoffend? And I can tell you from spending a lot of time with offenders throughout my years with the foundation, the answers that those residents were able to give were much better than some of the others who haven't received a treatment. And I think one of the things that I'm really proud about this bill is dealing with the mandatory minimum sentencing, which will keep these sexually deviant behaving individuals, sexually violent predators off our streets, but then create a process with which these individuals can be civilly committed and make sure that they get some of that help to identify those triggers. So if they do get out, we can have some safeguards. Not that that is the end-all be-all, and we know that that again can't be cured, but at least some of those answers were a little bit better.
As we wrap up, you're about to embark on your 5th statewide walk to raise awareness about this issue. What's in store this year?
It is our 5th year, which is totally crazy to think that we've done this 5 times, over 6,000 miles. And I'm just excited. I'm excited to learn more about survivors and thrivers throughout our state, to visit old friends that we've seen grow and heal. And the theme this year is #WhyIWalk. And we want all of your viewers to tell us why they would walk or why they walk, and really share those stories, because it's not just about Lauren's kids or me walking across the state. It's about all of our voices being heard collectively. And we talked a little bit at the press conference today about the first year. I didn't even think we would be able to get those steps at the historic old Capitol. And being in front of the House chambers today, ushering forward some of this life-saving legislation, we've come a long way. And I'm just proud of what the survivors in the state of Florida and the thrivers in the state of Florida have been able to do.
Well, Lauren Book, thank you so much for joining us. And to our viewers, we'll catch you next time.